Hey, hello everyone. Welcome to today's video, today's report. I'm Chris here with Elevate Cafe. Welcome. So yesterday I was sitting, right on this chair and talking about how, the past several days have been, a bit weak and, like it was having a tendency to show there's some cracks underneath the surface. And that we had some distribution and the market was kind of suggesting that it could be moving a bit lower, and sure enough we come today and we just erase everything and just move to new all-time highs. And this continues to show over and over again how important it is to continue to follow the trends. And I've talked about the uptrend as well. I mean, we looked at the S&P 500 here on my stock charts again, where you are seeing the longer term picture, and you can see, I mean, those moving averages are just trending upwards. So the path of least resistance continues to remain to the upside, and that's why it becomes easier when you have uptrend to trade with the long side, because you have more odds in your favor. Now, as much as I have reduced position yesterday, I had to put a bunch of them back today. I had to reinitiate, and I even went a little bit on margin. So hopefully it's not a shakeout to the upside. We'll see what happens, but I gotta listen to the market, and it is continues to kind of scream out of its lungs, don't dare shorting here, because or don't even dare kind of reducing positions, because you're going to lose the upside. So the only short that I've tried, and I'm still in it a little bit, it's the BE short. It's just I'm trying to maybe get a move. If I'm not mistaken, what is it even trading? It's trading at does it trade at 80? Let me see really quickly, and we'll come back since I have it here. BE, Bloom Energy, yes, I've shorted based on these two candles, and I was looking for a move back to 80, and we're trading about 87. So, we'll see if that's going to pan out or not, but that's the only thing that I have. In rest, I have a bunch of long positions. I'm going to show you, a few of the stocks, that I like, and a few of them I have positions, not in all of them, but there's things here that continue to look good, because we have a lot of 52-week highs, a lot of things breaking higher, coming out of cup and handles, preparing for what it seems to be a much larger third wave advance in some of these. So very interesting. There is no fault in moving, from being cautious to being bullish to being ultra bullish. The problem is when you remain in a position and you continue to defend it and get stuck with it, and then when you have a tendency to lose a bunch. So I'm positioning here for the upside. I have been positioning. I like the trend, and with all the kind of the little bit of weakness that we've gotten for the past few days, it seemed that we're just kind of brushing it off. I think everything kind of started with this morning's interview on CNBC. I put that on Twitter. I mean, just because I was kind of watching in the morning, and the guy from NVIDIA came and he started talking about his investments, and that kind of could have been a little bit that since NVIDIA is such a huge company and it drives everything when it comes to AI, and it could have been that it just kind of cranked up a little bit of power here, and it helped the market move higher. So that's where we are. Basically, what you have here, you have a failed move to the downside, you have a reversal to the upside, which when this happens, they have a tendency to be quite powerful. You have a similar story here in the Qs, and you also had almost a similar story in Bitcoin, which I talked about yesterday, because if you sell and then you have another candle that's of equal size, almost like a bullish engulfing, that suggests that there was a quick shakeout, and the market is resuming the way to the upside. So again, a close to new all-time highs in here. It's coming in a pretty decent value, maybe a bit less than yesterday, which is just still of a concern, but let's see what happens. So, excuse me. So I like what I see now, and we're going to continue to kind of follow along in terms of what's going on in Bitcoin in here. Right, we did have a sell-off this morning. We held down just a little bit at yesterday's lows at about 123. So if you look at the 4-hour chart, and I talked briefly about this on what do you call it? My goodness, I'm losing my memory here. What is it called? The Discord. I was talking on Discord here, and because the thing was, it sold off, and then the candle came and it hit exactly that low, and then it created a quick rejection. So sometimes when you have the first test of those levels, there are chances to do a quick trade. It doesn't mean that it's going to last a long time, but those could be kind of quick scalps, if you're into that kind of a thing. But it did reverse lower from like 123, went back to about 121, so about $15 to $1,000 drop on Bitcoin, and then we reversed and we took that high, which is important. And now we're kind of right at it, and we'll see if this was a simple ABC and we're going to turn, or do we have more digestion to kind of make. Because if you look what's going on here, right, we broke the new all-time highs and now we're consolidating, and this is something that I put on Twitter a few days ago, just when we were kind of hitting those highs, and I said, maybe it could goes in a straight line, but and I have no problem with that, but I also have no problem with it kind of digesting, and what this would mean is that it would start to kind of sell off here a little bit, or kind of go sideways, and it could be for a week, 2 weeks, it could be maybe 3 weeks, who knows, right? And it doesn't have to do that, but it could just kind of go sideways and create that kind of a nice little cup around, and only then you start to break and move to the upside. It would just be, I think, a more appropriate pattern for what we would be. Let's call it a wave 2, and with that we can go over and take a look at the wave count too, because I have it right here. And this was, let's say, the wave 1 of the top, the wave 2, and then from here on you can do another 1 and another 2, and then go back in this wave 3. I mean, it doesn't have to do it. It's obviously it's up to the market, but there would be a way to kind of balance out the edges. Now, a target for the wave 3 in kind of this circumstances, 3v1, for a 261.8. So let's see here. We already hit the 161.8. And this is because we've had such a deep retracement in here. That's why this kind of almost close to 126 offer resistance. And again, it kind of shows you, kind of how the fibs work, because if you measure that wave 2, you pull back, 78.6, even more, into this kind of deep setback in there. If you're looking for, something, because truthfully right now in here, you don't even have room for a wave 4. You would have to basically stay very, very tight without getting into the territory of that. We almost have to be like a triangle before we go. So that's what I'm thinking. It's probably we can get a 1, 2, 1, 2 here, and then climb higher 3, 4, and 5 towards 140, where you would have 129 multiple of this wave 1. And then obviously you have targets for the wave 3, but those are just kind of up there. So listen, I continue to like it. It acts well. If it wants to consolidate, that's fine. But that's kind of what I would like to see. Maybe a little bit of a sideways move with strength, pick up strength, and then turn and kind of move to the upside there. So that's just kind of on the wave count. And let me show you some stocks, and then we'll leave it at that. So ANET. It's one that's been very, very powerful. It had a big correction here in the spring back to 57 into the 60 zone, and now we're trading about 157. But it's one of those stocks. If you go even to like a monthly chart, it's just relentless, and it looks fairly strong. I guess you could look at this as even the beginning of a larger wave 3. I don't think that's a fifth wave. The RSI is not even having divergence or anything that would be kind of major near. So I continue to like this. It's got these guys are kind of one of the leaders. They have very good earnings and a lot of kind of institutional support, and it's just making new all-time highs in here, so that's pretty good. Palo Alto Networks, it's just breaking out of a huge consolidation in here, and it's trading 217. And when these guys get started, I mean, imagine if you have a sideways move in here, maybe like a second wave or a fourth wave in here, like a big, let's say, a flat correction or a WXY, what have you. Then you have a wave 1 and a wave 2, and now you're going. I mean, that's just kind of getting started again. Look at this. Even on the monthly charts, there's just so much room that this could travel. Then you have Dell, which let's see if it's, so this is, this is on the monthly chart. Look at this beautiful ABC break on top of the B wave. I mean, if you look at this as a 1-2, this guy, it's just screaming to go, and I think it was up about 9% today, if you can see here, and it's just been really good. I put this, I think I put it on Discord, I put it on Twitter, when I gave the example of, how does it look when a B wave starts to break, and if that's a wave 2 right there, we're just kind of getting going. CLS, it's another one, very nice and tight up at the high. It could continue to go there. Datadog, look at this, right? Just a drop, a nice shoulder here with the big neckline. In terms of Elliott wave count, I don't have it, but I like everything that's kind of getting close to to all-time highs in it. I guess these guys haven't even been trading that long, so they're just kind of getting started. Imagine what happens if you break this 200 zone, right? There's no air above it, and it could just continue to go. Meta, I liked it because it's got a nice ABC pullback in here, and it had, I think it was on the daily that it had a beautiful rejection of these lows and big volumes of buying coming in. I think that this move lower is done, and now it's trying to climb its way back up higher. We're going to have some resistance into the 20, into the 50. So this is one of the things of the lows, right? You got to be more careful here. Because you're not kind of buying into breakouts, you're buying off the low, and you're still somewhat in a downtrend, so you need more confirmation. Like, you got to get back above this low back here, a little bit more back above the moving averages. But with small positions and add on as the stock move higher, it could be a profitable one all the way back up to 800-900. VRT, these guys are right, energy and weekly charts in here just kind of breaking up. It's just looking great. Look at this formation, V-shape, pullback and go, and then PWR, it's another one that's just kind of rocking upwards. So there is stuff out there that's that's looking good and continues to move. There's all kind of people on CNBC, and people want to scare other people with bubbles and talk of AI bubbles and all of that, and we're anyway. You can say, right, the Fed is cutting rates, and the trend is up, but I always keep an eye on on the contrary, right? So if something happens and I lose my levels, I'm out of there. As simple as that. Sometimes you can get shaken out, but the thing is, you have not to be afraid to get back in if the market tells you that it's time to do so. So anyway, these are my thoughts for today. Thanks for watching. I'll see you on Substack, Twitter, Discord, what have you. I'll talk to you soon. Bye.